what was your guys' mindset going into this? Like, were you guys were obviously one of the favorites, but being that target, you always have to have something in your mind, like to not believe the hype. Like, what was that message going into this World Cup?
Well, we had a lot of messaging that was floating around in the ecosystem that was outside of our team, and I'm sure you can appreciate this. And I think, Sam, for you too, it's like, you're always going to have your critics, right? You're going to have people who either don't
I
believe
don't know what
you
you're
or don't
talking
believe.
about. I've looked at YouTube comments and everyone likes me.
Okay, sorry. So then you can just sit there idly quiet and on your
No, of
throne
course,
and be
yeah.
very comfortable. No.
Yeah.
So it's honestly, there was two messages that were going around us, which we worked incredibly hard to filter from the things we needed versus the things that were in existence. So number one was the future of women's soccer as a whole globally. If the US didn't win this World Cup, would basically just go. And that was because we pushed, as we do here in America, we push the envelope. We say we want big events. We watch Super Bowls in massive stadiums, and we believe that women's soccer deserved that platform. This was the World Cup. It wasn't some small, high school soccer tournament that was going to be played in the Northeast, which is what they wanted to do. They wanted to put it in like college type, small, like Tufts University, or, with 5 to 10,000 seats. And our group of leaders said, no, we're not going to do that. And so they pushed for playing in the Meadowlands and playing at the Rose Bowl and playing in all the stadiums in between. And so with that came the responsibility of filling those seats. And it was, it's over 1 million seats that you had to fill over the course of the tournament. And so that message was looming large. Dark clouds and Darth Vader, kind of like the future of women's soccer, kind of thing. And so there was a lot of pressure in that way. But I think another message, which was, we knew what we could control. We knew the type of team we had. We have proven before that we have championship pedigree and we understand how to win. And so, we had that on our side. So we had that great messaging. And then we had this responsibility to your daughter, so that when she was going to be born some 20 something years later, that she would have a place that would be of equal access for her to play. And so, that was a lot. And so, when we went through that tournament, there was a lot of interesting twists and turns along the way that made it very exciting.
That's really crazy and cool, and also really fucked up that you have this pressure on you for your whole gender. Yeah, I think about, like, when I started stand up, I'd know female headliners, and there'd be some of these like old school bookers who were like, oh, if they don't do well, like, that's it for women for a few months, So
Mm-hmm.
that's really messed up that you had this kind of pressure on you, but it's pretty damn cool that you delivered. I mean, you have all these great players on this team, all these, big names, but you seem tight. Was ego not an issue at all for this team?
I feel like everybody had their, you have to bring that to the field, right? Because when you show up against the best in the world, you have to believe that you're great enough. You're not just good, you're great enough to do this. So, we had that, but the beauty of this team and the leadership in Tony DeCicco and our captains, Carla Overbeck and Julie Foudy, and our leaders that didn't wear the captains on their armband were so in tune with the objective. And the objective was to win, and to be successful in winning. Everybody had to be embraced. Everybody's role was important. Didn't matter if you played 90 minutes, half a game, 10 minutes at the end. You never came off the bench. Everybody contributed to the outcome. And I believe because we had this, there was a saying called wholesome discontent at practice. Shit, Julie Foudy and I would be having a WWE match going on. The ball could be on the other side of the 4v4, and we would be wrestling. And then the practice would end, and we'd be laughing, and we'd be like literally like arm in arm and laughing off the field. So we had a really great respect for each other. We had a trust in one another. We knew that we were all there for the same purpose and the same objective. And I will say that it was a different time, Sam. There was no social media. It was barely the time when people were starting to use cell phones that weren't like, you didn't have to carry it over your shoulder and like a brick. And so, we got to be present a lot. We got to be with each other, and there was not as many external factors that could derail anybody. I think this is the greatest challenge now. It's that everybody is camera ready. Everybody is in the moment. I'm going to make a deal. And, the way I see it is, if you do your job and you do it in a way that shows your care and the respect and the responsibility to your team, the fans, the game, things will come your way. Things will come your way. So I think we had a really special time and a very special group.